everybody, my name is Emily and today I'm gonna analyze the short story of the Romance of a Busy Broker. First, I'm gonna narrate the story briefly and then I'm gonna analyze some details, right? The Romance of a Busy Broker by Henry is a story about Harvey Maxwell, a hard worker working in an absent-minded New York broker, and his young secretary, Miss Leslie. One hectic morning, Maxwell dives into his overwhelming work routine, completely unaware of the change of around here and around him. Miss Leslie behaves differently, radiating happiness, and Pitcher, another office worker, observes her unusual demeanor. Amid the chaos, Maxwell mistakenly asked Pitcher why a new secretary was sent for, forgetting he had requested it the previous day. When Miss Leslie resumed her duties, Maxwell works tirelessly, absorbed in the flow of business. Later, as the briefly pauses, the scent of flowers reminds him of Miss Leslie. In that moment, he decides to propose marriage. In that moment, he rushes to her desk, confessing his love in a hurried manner. To Maxwell's shock, Miss Leslie reveals that they were already married the previous evening in a quiet ceremony. The story ends with this revelation, leaving readers to ponder how Maxwell will reconcile his work-driven life with his newfound marital commitment. Now I'm gonna present some notes of different sections in the story. For example, the presentation, basic situation, what I learned from it. We are introduced to that setting a busy broker's office in New York City. Harvey Maxwell, the main character, is a highly efficient but overworked broker, and we see the routine of chaotic nature of his professional life. We also meet Miss Leslie, his secretary, who appears different and happier than usual. This introduces the subtle romantic undertone of the story. Who are the three characters? How are they related? The three characters are Harvey Maxwell, that is a busy New Yorker broker, highly focused on his work to the exclusion of almost everything else. The second character is Miss Leslie, Maxwell's secretary, who is later revealed to be his new life. The last one is Pitcher, an office worker who observes the events unfolding and helps manage Maxwell's instructions. What is the conflict? Who represents it? Give examples. The conflict lies in Maxwell's overwhelming work-life balance. His obsession with business prevents him from realizing and remembering his personal life, specifically his marriage to Miss Leslie the previous evening. This inner conflict between his professional identity and personal life is central to the story. For instance, Maxwell's confusion about hiring a new secretary shows his lack of awareness of his own decisions. Okay, when does rising action starts? When is the climax? The rising action starts when the tension builds as Miss Leslie behavior hits as something significant, and Maxwell becomes observed in his work while obviously to her feelings. The climax occurs when Maxwell suddenly proposed to Miss Leslie, o- only for her to reveal that they were married the night before. In the end, there is no a resolution. We need to infer it. What do you think will happen? The story ends with a revelation rather than resolution, really leaving readers to imagine How Maxwell will adjust? Likely, he will need to reconcile his work habits with his new role as a husband, suggesting a shift in priorities. Analyze all hits that foreshadow that um, Maxwell and Leslie were married that night before, and everybody at the office knew. The first one is Miss Leslie behavior. Her happiness and dreamy demeanor suggests she's in a romantic haze. And the picture reaction. He seems aware of something unusual, possibly the marriage, but does not directly address it. And the last one is no, it's not the last one. Maxwell's forgetfulness. This mirrors the theme of his detachment from personal matters. And the last one is the floater scent. Maxwell associated it with Miss Leslie, symbolizing her emotional closeness and their romantic bond. That's it. Thank you so much for your attention.